The U.S. Alaska Command has confirmed that Washington recently deployed bomber aircraft to remote waters near the Alaskan archipelago bordering Russia. The move, officials said, serves as a preventive measure against potential maritime threats that could endanger national security. Amid the ongoing war in Ukraine since 2022, Russia's military activity in the Pacific remains high. In 2023, Moscow conducted joint naval patrols with China around the Aleutian Islands. Alaska's location, facing Russia's far east and separated only by the Bering Strait, makes it one of the most strategic points in America's homeland defense network. Regular training and operational missions are conducted there to ensure the readiness of U.S. forces stationed along this critical frontier. The latest deployment comes as political tensions between Washington and Moscow once again intensify. The U.S. government recently imposed another wave of sanctions aimed at pressuring Russia to engage in ceasefire discussions with Ukraine. In an official statement released Thursday, the Alaska Command announced that a maritime operation took place on October 16th in the Bering Sea. The mission involved the U.S. Coast Guard cutter, USCG Sea Kimball, and two U.S. Air Force B-1B Lancer bombers. During the exercise, the Kimball, together with Navy assets, provided target data for the bombers, enabling long-range target acquisition and simulated weapons engagement. However, the U.S. military did not specify whether the simulation represented a strike scenario against an opposing vessel. The B-1B is known as the largest conventional bomber in the U.S. Air Force inventory. It can carry up to 75,000 pounds of ordnance, including long-range anti-ship missiles, LAR-ASM, with ranges exceeding 230 miles. These systems are designed to strike targets from beyond enemy defense perimeters, whether launched from aircraft, ships, or land-based platforms. Lieutenant General Robert Davis, commander of the Alaska Command, emphasized that the region serves as a key domain for homeland defense, while also projecting power into the Indo-Pacific and Arctic, two arenas now central to strategic rivalry among the United States, Russia, and China. Operations in the Bering Sea ensure our forces remain ready to meet evolving threats while demonstrating our commitment to maintaining America's northern access, Davis said in a press release. Just a month earlier, the Alaska Command had conducted a joint operation with Canadian forces in the same waters. The exercise involved US F-35 stealth fighters and Canadian warships to demonstrate the two nations' combined maritime strike capability in an increasingly contested region. Beyond combat readiness, the recent bomber deployment in Alaska is also viewed as a political signal from Washington to both Moscow and Beijing. Analysts note that the Bering Sea and the Aleutian region are once again transforming into a military competition zone, reminiscent of the Cold War era, when the two nuclear powers frequently confronted each other through long-range air and naval operations. Indo-Pacific security observers describe Alaska as the new center of gravity in America's defense strategy. The U.S. presence there not only counters direct threats, but also secures vital logistics and shipping routes across the Arctic, routes that are becoming increasingly active as melting ice opens new passages. This dynamic has created both commercial opportunities and intensified strategic competition among major powers. In recent years, Russia has bolstered its military footprint in the Arctic by constructing radar stations, expanding air bases, and modernizing its nuclear-powered icebreaker fleet. Washington views these actions as part of Moscow's broader effort to extend control over northern sea routes that could become economically significant in the future. Meanwhile, China, calling itself a near-Arctic state, has increased research activities and maritime operations in the region. These developments have prompted closer defense cooperation between the United States, Canada, Japan, and several NATO allies, particularly in intelligence sharing, joint patrols, and maritime exercises in extreme climates. Washington argues that collective engagement is essential to confront cross-border threats, ranging from naval incursions to long-range reconnaissance missions by foreign militaries. Domestically, U.S. defense policy in Alaska is driven by the need to maintain rapid response capability. Air bases in the region enable American fighters and bombers to reach three strategic theaters: the Arctic, the Pacific, and Europe, within relatively short time frames. This provides a significant operational advantage amid today's volatile and fast-shifting global security environment. Although tensions remain high, both Washington and Moscow have so far avoided direct incidents in their bordering air and maritime zones. Still, military readiness on both sides continues to rise. Analysts caution that the situation remains fragile and could escalate quickly should either party engage in an aggressive maneuver or miscalculation. For the United States, the message from its latest operation in the Bering Sea is unmistakable. The northern frontier is not an empty space, and any potential threat approaching its borders will be met with ready and capable force. With the war in Ukraine showing no signs of ending and strategic competition with China intensifying, Alaska is poised to remain one of the world's most sensitive flashpoints in global security. As northern military activity grows, the Pentagon is accelerating modernization of defense assets in Alaska. Efforts include enhancing early warning radar systems, expanding air defense capabilities, and deploying fifth-generation fighter jets, part of a broader strategy to ensure America retains superiority in detecting and responding to threats from the Arctic Circle.